In example 4, we've got the graphs of f of x, which is the graph in red, and its image, which is the graph in blue, after a vertical and or horizontal compression. And they've given you specific points. For example, there's some key points, like on the red graph, this minimum here is at 2, -8. On the blue graph, can you see the point that corresponds with that one? We've got a new minimum. That new minimum is at -1, -4. They've also have a point labeled. They've got the point at 3, 9, and they've labeled the point 1.5, 4.5. This question is sort of a working backwards, right? Up till now, we've been given the equation. We know how to change things and then draw the new points and draw the new graph. Now the question's done for us. The graphs have been drawn, and we need to work our way backwards in order to figure out what happened so that we can write an equation. So if I was working my way backwards, I would say, well, what would have I done originally? Originally, I would have taken 2 points from my red graph, which are 3, 9 and 2, -8. And I would have drawn an arrow and said, I need to do something, and I would have done that thing, and I would have found out what happened to 3, 9. It became 1.5, 4.5. What happened to 2, -8? It became, I've got a mistake here in my labeling, right? It's not at -1, it's at +1. Oh, that's not blue. There we go. +1, -1/4. +1, -1/4. I would have gotten these numbers because I would have written myself some instructions. I would have told myself for a vertical compression, I need to multiply y by something. And I would have written here, I need to multiply x by something. If you're going 9 to 4.5 and -8 to -4, what have you multiplied y by? 1/2. And if I'm going from 2 to 1 and 3 to 1.5, what have I multiplied my x by? 1/2. Now, if I had y by 1/2 and I had x by 1/2, normally I would have gotten those from my equation. So we need to do that. We need to write the equation in terms of f. So it's going to be an equation y equals, the y by 1/2 would be outside of the function, and it would be exactly what you would think. There'd be 1/2 outside of my function. The x by 1/2 would be something inside the function. So now I can write my function f. What would be inside the function to get x by 1/2? A 2x, the reciprocal. And so now we have written the equation in terms of f. Questions for practice here. 5, 12, 13, and 14.